So the first thing which you need is obviously go to any of the internet browser that you have and type in for the reference. In this case, we'll type wall destruction, and you can see we have a lot of images. Choose from the one and even watch some videos if you want to, like the one I'm watching here, and even watch 25 minutes of incredible demolition videos. I mean, I'm serious. Yeah, that's what I watched for 25 minutes. Seriously. I'm just kidding. Here as you can see that we have a simple cube and a plane. So grab this Android pencil from here. You can even type Shift plus spacebar and then choose this pencil and then make a proper drawing of the cracks that you want to have. This will be added in the cell fracture, and after that you're done with your drawing, type F3 and here type cell fracture, and as you can see that we will have this kind of a panel, and here choose annotate pencil and maybe increasing some recursion numbers and hit OK. And now you'll have to wait just for a moment because Blender will break some pieces for you. It will recalculate all of those pieces. Boom, now you have all of your cube cells individually separated. Now I'll add all of these in the new collection, which will be called broken, and hit enter. Now you have all of your broken pieces into this collection, and you also have your default cube, which we'll be using as well. I'll select all of those pieces and that broken, and then adding a rigid body dynamic to those by going to this object, and here rigid body you can choose add active. Now if you'll play, cubes will drop obviously because right now our plane doesn't have a rigid body as well, so we need that also. So in here in the physics properties, choose rigid body and choose passive. Now as you can see the cubes will fall off and our cell fracture is also working. I'll increase the friction value, and here I'll check this deactivation and also start deactivated. That's it. What this will do is it will deactivate your all the cell fractures pieces until something else hit any of your cell. For example, in our case we'll be hitting our metal ball to all the pieces. Once you're done with the single cell, select all of your pieces with shift selecting your that single cell in which we added deactivation. Then again going to object, rigid body, copy from active, and now if you'll play, boom, it's working. I'll add a UV sphere obviously because we need our ball. Then again checking this rigid body on it and check that animated button. That is really important. Add an animation, keyframe all of it by hitting I and pressing location. Instead of convex hull, I'll choose sphere. Then again check this animated button, adding some keyframes here and there. As you can see, our rigid body is working. I'll add a keyframe on this animated because I want this sphere metallic ball to also work as an active rigid body, and now it's working as well. So once you're happy with all of it, yeah, it's looking all good. Now I'll just bake all the rigid body dynamics, going to scene properties, and now it's baked out. I'll go to this front properties, change some settings, changing denoise to optics because optics is a little bit faster. It will use our GPU instead of CPU. Open image denoise is for CPU, and in cycles it is looking good. If you have GPU, then please use GPU instead of CPU. That will be a little bit faster than CPU. I'll select an HDRI. I have downloaded all of these HDRIs from Holy Heaven or HDRI Heaven. I don't know the name of it right now. I'll choose a decent HDRI. Add a camera, changing its perspective, focal length, etc, etc. And now what we have to do is we will animate its viewport and render display properties till the balling is hitting this cube. So I'll go to this object data properties, and here in visibility you can see you have viewports and render. You can add keyframes in it. So when the ball is hitting, uncheck your viewport and renders and add a keyframe over it. And now as you can see, it's working properly. Now till the ball is not hitting, it will be present in the scene. When the ball will hit, it will be absent. Let's add some particle systems for the debris and all of that kind of stuff. So add a plane, add a particle emitter in it, add some velocity, changing the frame start and end values, because we want that it should emit particles when the ball is hitting the ball is hitting the wall, like this. But right now, as you can see, it's looking a little bit dull because of its straightforwardness. We don't want that. We want these particles to have an exploded view, and for that we need to change some settings. We need to randomize the velocity. For that, you just need to go to velocity parameters in the particle tab, obviously, and there in randomize, increase the number to whatever you like. And right now I'll just select any of these 3 cube cells, and in rigid body I'll remove the rigid body dynamics from these 3 cube cells and select all of these 3 and add them to a new collection. Well, why is that? Because in the particles I need debris, and for that we'll use these cube cells. You can either make your own or you can use these. So I'll use these. Add them a new collection by hitting M, and I'll type debris. Hit OK. In debris you can see that we have 3 cube cells. Then again go to the plane emitter that you have. Go to render and change your hello object to collection. And in collection, choose debris. Here in instant collection, choose debris. And now you can see that you have extra particles. Now still it's looking a little bit flat. Again, you can do the same thing which I told you. In velocity, in randomize, you just need to increase that number. That's it. And here in the scale property, maybe increase it or decrease it, play with it. I'll increase the scale randomness and also play with the number of particles that we have here. Maybe increasing it to 1 lakh. Oh, that's a lot of debris. We don't want that much. Maybe 10,000 is looking good. Yeah, 10,000 is good. It was 1 lakh or 10 lakh, I think, previously. Adding another particle emitter by adding another plane, obviously. And now you have your small debris as well as big, and obviously you have your main fractured big objects. Well, all of it is looking good. You are mainly done with the particle system, or you can say like the solid objects that you needed. You are done with that mostly. Now just bake all of your dynamics by hitting this bake all dynamics. Now it's baked out. Now let's add the main thing, which is adding smoke simulations. Now how do we add smoke simulations? If you will again see all of those references, you can check there that the main thing in destructions is mostly smoke. Actually, that's very small particles that are created, okay, and all the sand which is pulled up from the ground. So let's add a cube for the domain. Increase its size. It should basically cover all the area in which your smoke will be, so that's why. And let's add a plane. This will be our smoke emitter, like we have a particle emitter, and this domain is where the smoke will happen. So let's go to physics properties and this check this fluid, and here you have your 2 options, gas or liquid. We'll choose gas. Alright, and in the plane again choose fluid, and here choose flow in the type instead of domain. And we have flow behavior to geometry and flow type to smoke. You can even choose initial odds, and keep this in mind whenever you have a plane which is emitting smoke. So always go in flow source and choose is planar. Alright, You can even check initial velocity and maybe increasing, initial, maybe increasing normal to 5. Well, it's still looking same. Okay, so maybe changing initial x to minus 154. That worked a bit. So instead of geometry, let's choose inflow, because we want the same thing. We want the smoke to fall when the ball hit the wall. So we'll add keyframes, and to this use flow. Add a keyframe over here and add a keyframe after a few frames. That it should just inflow the smoke basically just for a few keyframes. That's pretty much it, I think. Yep, it will be fine. Oh well, that's a lot. Maybe we should decrease initial x value to maybe minus 5, I think. Increasing sampling substems will help, obviously. And in the domain, if you will increase the resolution divisions, it will make your smoke very, very smooth and very, very good. But it will also make your PC struggle very much. Okay, so if you don't want your PC to burn out, don't go beyond 128 and maximum 256. 256 is enough. If you have a strong PC, then you can go to 512, but after 512, I mean, that's a lot. That's seriously hell lot. Then we'll bake it, and obviously our type, the cache type, is to modular. That's why we can bake noise separately. And I also have this dissolve option checked. Alright, I think that it is looking really good. Maybe changing the noise to 5 and then again baking it. Giving material to our metal ball. It's nothing, it's just adding a noise texture to the roughness map and same noise texture to the bump map. That's pretty much it for the ball. And the material for our cube is very, very simple. Just add a principal BSDF, add roughness to 1, and we will change its color. That's it. That's the material that we are using. It's a little bit chocolatey, and we use the same materials for the particles. For the small debris, for the big debris, each of the particle will have the same material. Right now, as you can see, that all the settings checked, it's looking something like this. With all the smokes simulations that we added after it, enabling some particle system. And right now, it's looking something like this. Just with the main fractures, you have a result like this. With big debris, you have a result like this. With big debris, with cell fracture, and with small debris, you have an effect like this. Lastly, with all of the settings enabled, with smoke simulations, with debris, with our main fractures, cells, we will have an effect like this. Well guys, this was pretty much it for this tutorial, and if you want a detailed explained version of it, then obviously you can head up to the Patreon. Link will be provided in the description below, and there you will get some materials that I have created, some assets. Obviously you can use all those assets, and also have a serious dedicated highly detailed tutorials which will be like step by step, proper step by step guiding you, holding your hands. Okay. And likewise, if you like this tutorial, then please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you want to, and press the notification bell so that you never miss any upcoming videos. I'll be producing these banger videos, obviously the simulation ones and the scenes, because I think this is my genre. Everyone has their separate genres, but this is what I like. I like simulation, doing simulations, physical simulations. And the second thing which I like is obviously making some scenes, photorealism. So yeah, you can check all of those other videos of my speed modeling, in which I speed model those realistic scenes. I know those are not that realistic, but at least they have some stylization of me. So you can check all of those out. Like for example, this car scene, this telephone booth scene, or even this street shop scene. And there are plenty others. And if you also want to know how to do basic cloth simulation, then obviously you can check this video. And this is me signing off from AK Render, and see you in the next one. Peace.